There was an NSA debate on CNN between Don Lemon, Jeffrey Toobin, and Larry Klayman, and it got incredibly heated. It's a little bit long, but it's worth every second. Let's listen.
It's true, Don. I've watched you for many years. You're an ultra-leftist, and you're a big supporter of Obama. And the reality is, let's talk about the NSA. Let's not talk about Larry Klayman. This victory is for the American people. It wasn't for me. And you, as somebody from the left, and I've gotten more compliments from the left in the last few days, and even from the right, should appreciate that you don't have a police state in this country that's going to be able to intimidate Americans, to chill their free speech rights, their associational rights. The NSA has data on all of us, metadata, which deals with our personal lives. It's clearly a violation of the Fourth Amendment. But rather than talking about that, you've got to try to take out somebody who's challenged President Obama. And I'll stand by everything I've said and everything I've done.
Listen, Larry, I'm not here. Hang on, Jeffrey, before you jump in, listen, I'm not here to get into an argument with you. Nothing you have said has been correct about me or the reason we're doing this story. So you can continue to attack. Listen, will you let me finish, please? You can continue to attack me or attack CNN or whatever you want to do, but let me just say this. The only person who decides my political leanings, whether I'm left or right, are me. The only people who know that for sure, the person who knows that for sure,
I'm not attacking
is me.
CNN. I'm not attacking CNN.
But listen, I just want you to know. I want you to finish.
I am
taking issue with you. Finish. Will you let me finish, or I'm going to cut your mic, and Jeffrey and I will finish this conversation.
Well,
that is for me to decide. Thank you very much, Jeff. How far will this case go?
Okay. Let me just read from this opinion, page 39. Mr. Klayman responded, "Why is he bringing this suit? I think the NSA, are messing with me." Then went on to explain that he and his clients had received inexplicable test messages and emails, not to mention a disk containing a spyware program. In other words, this case is based on Larry Klayman's tinfoil hat paranoia about the NSA being after him. He had some fantasy that the NSA was after him. This case is not about Larry Klayman. It's about the metadata program that affects everybody. But the idea that Larry Klayman is the representative is simply outrageous, because he is a professional litigant and lunatic who should not be a representative of the very important issues of this case.
Go ahead, Larry.
You know, Jeffrey, I'm surprised to hear you say that, because that is not what the case was structured on. Why don't you read the opinion and see what the judge said, rather than spending your time with me? You know, and I had differences during the Clinton administration.
We certainly did.
Like Don is a big advocate of Obama, you were a big advocate of Sidney Blumenthal, who did everything he could to destroy conservatives in the White House.
Jeffrey, it's funny. Let's just let him go.
It's not funny, Jeffrey. You know, it's not about me, Jeffrey, and the fact that you want to try to do a hit on me shows me that you're not a serious person, and frankly should not be doing legal commentary for CNN.
Yeah. I think there are very serious issues here, but the idea that you are the representative of them is really very unfortunate, because there are important issues here, and they are not obvious in their resolution. But your paranoia and fantasies about the NSA being after you are unworthy of this important case.
I think we should read the complaint rather than shooting your mouth off. Read the complaint, read the judge's decision. Obviously, the judge didn't agree with you, Jeffrey. Read what he said, and you can find it at freedomwatchusa.org.
And can we listen?
This is a disgrace. Both of your conducts are a disgrace.
Oh my gosh, you are. Are you okay?
No, are you okay?
Yeah, because this is not about you. You've come on and you made this about you. It's not about the complaint. You wanted to come. I'm not going to argue with you. Thank you. Can we get him off, please? Can we please remove him from the screen?
Great. You're a charter member of the ACLU. You believe in free speech, right?
Can we please remove him from the screen, producer?
Free speech.
Jeffrey,
yeah.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Continue on. What do you make of it?
Awkward. So right off the top, let's get this out of the way. Larry Klayman is a lunatic. He thinks Obama wasn't born in America. He thinks Obama's a Muslim. He's afraid of some sort of communist takeover of America. He thought that he could get millions of people to do this armed march/revolution, you know, in Washington, D.C., like 100 dudes showed up. So the guy is off his rocker a little bit. There's no denying that. However, on this specific case, Larry Klayman is 100% right. He's the guy that sued the NSA and said, hey, look, you're violating everybody's Fourth Amendment protection from unreasonable search and seizure. You can't collect all their metadata. You can't look at their their phone calls, their emails, their text messages. You can't spy on them while they're doing World of fucking Warcraft. Actually, specifically, this case was just about the phone calls. But he said you can't do that. It's the clearest violation of the Fourth Amendment we've ever seen. It protects from unreasonable search and seizure, and they say that you need a specific warrant in the Fourth Amendment. And what you're doing here is doing a broad warrant, saying everybody is part of a terrorism investigation, even if you're a 72-year-old grandmother who is on Social Security and sits at home all day. Everybody's part of a terrorism investigation, which is why the judge had a scathing opinion and said this is clearly a violation, and they agreed with Larry Klayman. But here's what pisses me off more than anything. CNN always treated Larry Klayman like he was this legitimate guy when he was doing all those ridiculous things in the past, right? When he was doing these silly marches and calling Obama a Kenyan Muslim and all that stuff. But now that he actually did something good, all of a sudden he's illegitimate. So they flipped it. Before he was totally illegitimate and they treated him like he was legitimate. Now he's doing something legitimate and they're treating him like he's illegitimate. So CNN has it ass backwards. And what I need to get across to people is this very simple idea. I actually have people who've told me this, who listen to the show all the time. It's one of the few compliments I get when doing the show here. They say, yeah, I like the way that you're able to make a distinction between, you could say, like, I disagree with that guy by and large, but he's right about this issue. And I think it's pretty simple. You have to go issue by issue. People need to be able to compartmentalize. So it's like with Ron Paul and Rand Paul, for example. I mean, I disagree with them on probably over 50% of the issues, but maybe on 40 or so, I'm with them. So that means whenever I talk about them, I'll explain, look, I disagree with them on economics and domestic policy, but I think they're right on drug policy or foreign policy or whatever it is. It's called understanding the world is nuanced. It's called understanding there's shades of gray and not everything is black and white. So many people on both sides of the aisle love to live in a black and white world where it's like, you're either 100% right about everything or 100% wrong about everything. Well, no, the world is not that simple. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. And also just a few last things here. Toobin said to Klayman, it's unfortunate that you're the representative of this very important case. Yeah, but Jeffrey, you're the guy who has been openly on the side of the NSA in this and saying, I think they should be able to spy on everybody. You know, you've argued with Glenn Greenwald ad nauseum, ad infinitum on air, so why are you pretending? It's like a condescending thing for him to say, because you should hope that Klayman is the representative because you want him to lose. You wanted them to lose, and if you think he's a bad representative, you should be in favor of that. So it just doesn't make any sense that Toobin says that. He should want Klayman to be the head of it. And then when Don Lemon says, oh, you're making this all about you. No, actually, and I hate Klayman. He is a lunatic. But in this instance, he wasn't making it about him. He said repeatedly, this is about the American people. This is about the NSA taking away your rights. And I've gotten more compliments from the left than the right in recent days. So he didn't make it about him. You guys made it about him. Fucking Toobin read a statement from one page from a long opinion or from a long court transcript or whatever it was, where he says, oh, see, Larry's saying it's about him. Why don't you read the other however many pages it is so you could read the scathing opinion on the issue from the judge himself? And final thing here. Don, what are you doing? You don't cut off somebody's mic. I mean, I hate it when liberals do this. I hate it when conservatives do it. Don't, just let people talk. Okay, you're uncomfortable with what he said. Okay, you feel like he cut you off a couple times. Okay, you feel like he filibustered a little bit. You automatically become the bad guy in the conversation when you say, cut off his mic. So just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's very simple.